Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Guys, it's Hump Day, Wednesday, June 22nd. And I think we're going to have an amazing show today. Lovely to have you here with us. I am your fave, Azem. And of course, I'm joined by Jade, Matthew Stewart, CPL Johnson, who is, of course, my lovely co-host and the producer of this wonderful show. Good morning, Jade. How are you doing? It's like that?
As 8 seconds I'm leaving, you know?
Jade is here, a shell of herself.
Let me tell you something, right?
Yes?
As an adult,
Grab the mic, yes.
in saying it,
Mm-hmm.
we set up for this.
Oh, what
Do
is
you
this?
see, do you see this party in the week thing?
Oh.
We ain't built for this.
Yeah?
We ain't built for this, Azim.
It was rough? Well, this morning.
I don't know how Jamaicans do it, but kitty jets. There are many adults right now who are currently contemplating if they really need to go to work.
Ever again?
To that, I thought I was the ones who are already there contemplating if they can just go back home. As a meeting,
And then wondering how they're going to make it. Those who they are trying to figure out how they're going to make it today.
they hold it, you know. I thinking about it, right? I only have to make it to 2 hours. Well, about 4 hours. Suddenly.
And then you could kind of nap.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
come and then hit it again.
I could hit a refresher.
Right.
There are people who have to stay at their job who feel just like me from 8 to 5.
Oh.
2 5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4 to 5. It's 4 to 5. But some people working 8 to 5. I don't know. I am not off. And then, 9 to 5. So it's 8 to 4 or 9 to 5.
8 to 4.
Or 9 to 5. They have to study all the Azim. I don't feel like me. And be productive.
Well, I think the productivity level definitely is going to drop this week.
Watch it. The boss can't ask. This week, your boss can ask you to do nothing extra.
Yeah, this week I think boss is kind of, it's like a dead week. Yeah, you just kind of, you ready to have like bad debt.
Because they still got to this Thursday, you know? Oh, my God is.
You got anything tonight?
Yes.
So it has begun.
Oh, my God.
It has begun. You know, I just call Music Fest Zombie Week, eh?
Bye.
It'll be funny to me to wake up the next morning, especially the Friday morning, and see the zombies.
I can't wait to sleep.
Lunchtime on Friday, they'll just be like, people, you look into people's eyes, you see nothing. There's no soul.
As in when people can sleep this week. Like when is people going to actually...
They don't, Jade. They
no,
don't.
What's happening this week, you know?
They don't. You know the other day, so Friday does be the day where I watch people. You know the other day I watch people?
When?
Monday.
Oh, after Have the white sands
Monday.
and soca season, wherever else are you going? Boy. And then
Monday.
Monday got something else too.
What?
Okay. I tell her when I'm going to sleep, you know? I don't know when I'm going to sleep. This weekend look rough. I take all your vitamins by him.
Mm-hmm.
Take all your vitamins.
Drink lots of water, stay hydrated.
Yes, because this week is about to be about stamina and pace. The word of the week is pace. And made me as him.
But who can sustain? That is the question. Can you sustain?
I feel like the older you get, the less energy you have, right?
Yeah, that's generally how it goes.
Yes.
Generally, yeah.
But the people with the least amount of energy is the ones who always want to be out.
Because they're trying to convince themselves that they have not lost the energy and they have not aged.
I know. May build for this. No more.
What was the name of the event last night?
Binge.
The arrival party?
The arrival party. And a lot of people... Listen, it was a good party.
Okay.
It was a good party, as in. There were plenty of people. Everybody was having fun. There was a lot of people that are arriving on the island. You know, you can't even fly no fight right now to come take it.
That's where we're going?
Listen, please bring back Liat. You see what when I forsake what we have?
But yeah, I keep hearing people say that there. My contention is Liat was not forsaken by the people.
I know.
Liat was forsaken by the governments.
All the government them, you know? All the government them.
Except Gaston.
The man was trying to tell all you.
Gaston was there like, no.
Gaston was the only one seeing the vision. As a... listen, I know Gaston must be in the group chat them lighting them up, you know.
Gaston will light up anybody for any reason.
But this one important. Because there is nowhere for us to get from anywhere to St. Kitts in the Caribbean easily.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away. I'm trying to get off the island and it's proving difficult.
It's extremely difficult.
I need to go to the VI on the 28th or the 29th.
Good luck, buddy, because you don't know where you're going and you're going on a boat, no?
It might actually be a seaplane. That's what you're looking like now.
Big. And then charters and all them things, super expensive. Just how I want us to intermingling now. Like, ever since, you know what?
What to the bubble? When COVID was
You
running
read my
around.
mind. You read my mind. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, like, during the whole COVID thing, they were like, oh, we have a travel bubble. The bubble bus. And never come back here.
I just about to say, right? Like, I was literally saying, ever since y'all popped the bubble, we've been cursed. We can't... I'd say it's because the leaders was arguing about the bubble. It has to be the ones arguing about the bubble as him. So now, we just can't go to the country easily. You know how hard it is just to go Antigua? Antigua right there, you know?
No, literally people booking flights on British Airways to go to Antigua. That's what it is.
There is no other way to get there. As in, there's literally no other way to get to.
I could buy a helicopter, right?
You probably could, but I feel like there would be some restrictions and guidelines. I don't. You can fly things?
No.
Okay, well, see, there's one.
I don't have to be the one to fly it.
That's oh yeah, you're rich. We're in pilots and so. All right. They pay you.
No, it's not for my personal use, you know.
Oh.
No, to shut the people around the islands and so.
I thought one of the parties them finally get to you and you ain't tell me. No, we're still waiting on that?
Still wait. Guys, we only have a few more weeks before election, you know. Nobody approached me yet. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. Like, what is it? What I need to do? I need to get louder on Facebook?
We never get a little offer.
Nothing, Jade.
I tell you, we need to start to behave like our good uncle.
Which one?
Jubant.
Talk, puppy.
Man, if you got enough space for us to throw himself and going in here, but...
He's done it.
Not in it. Well, he do it in freedom, so he got enough space. But I don't know if two of us could fit on the floor at the same time. So.
Bye. How your show went on the weekend?
Very well.
Nice.
I was looking at the views and so.
Nice.
The people were locked in.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Talk, puppy. Big up yourself. Friend of the show.
So I tell Uncle, that clip about when he offered me a house keep coming up, right? But it's because people keep reposting it.
I haven't seen it.
It's yesterday, so I forgot to reply to this person, right? But yesterday, somebody tagged me about it again on Facebook and asked me if I get it. No, the answer is no. See?
Oh, yeah. Shoot that to me now.
For what reason?
Just for posterity.
Okay, just making sure. You will have no ulterior. It's ulterior, right?
Yeah.
Guys, forgive me. Some of the words I pronounce, y'all not done can read. But some of the words I gonna pronounce this morning gonna be rough. Cause right now I can't see.
What is happening in the studios up in FM?
Jay needs a nap. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kevin had blonde here.
Oh, that's the blonde face.
Yeah, man. I forget. My friend had a little blonde thing going on.
But yeah, Jay, do you want to jump into tea time?
Yes, we should.
Hey guys, it's tea time here.
You're up at 7 a.m. listening to us? Oh, you got one? Okay. You know them things that happen now?
I don't even know what my hand touch.
You do? Wait.
Oh, okay.
You here listening to Is No Stress?
Good vibe.
Yes, this morning.
Good vibe.
Starting off the morning on a high note.
Oh, we should talk to Jugo, you know.
Don't tell me that because you know you could just tell the people them come on the show. And you always turn it to me like I know the people in personally. I think it's you, not them.
No, I just saying like, you just crossed my mind like we should interview Jugo. That's a legend in Caribbean music right there.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I think you should shoot him. Well, you know what's up. But speaking of interviews. Did you see the one that Sean did?
Look, let me tell you something, right? Is it bad that the main takeaway for me from that entire thing was the amount of stickers and memes that could come out of it just based on Sean's facial expressions?
That's the literal thing everybody remembering from this video.
Sean facial expressions.
You probably let the third person.
Amazing.
You probably let the third person talk about his facial expressions.
But people already sent me the stickers.
Yeah, share them with me.
I can send you some.
You have wow.
But there's one in particular that I want. One from the last video just before the thumbs up.
I know is that I know.
That face just before the thumbs up is priceless. I don't know how to make them, otherwise I'd just make it myself.
I know how to make them neither, but.
But what was your takeaway from what he was saying?
Sean pulling up on people. Sean is pulling up on people, okay? Because. Oh, ma'am.
Chinese man get one too.
Sean got about the people that walk. Wait, Sean, what you said? The vehicle was by your house?
Wait.
Oh, you sure? Me and the man want to see evidence. Okay? Me and the man want to see your proof that black pickup.
I don't know, it was no car.
It was a pickup, I think. Was by your place of residence. Because. So what you say he was doing there? He just was circling? Because we understand. Why would the man who
he said the man was there. He said that vehicle was in the vicinity of his property.
Oh, that is true.
The man said the man was there.
That
he said that vehicle was there.
Who that man was again there? He was interviewed.
Mr. Ham?
Involuntarily.
Mr. Ham.
Mr. Ham. Yeah. Come speak to us. Let us hear your side of the story.
Mr. Ham pulled something, say he's going to refer it to his lawyer.
For sure?
Mm-hmm.
I say you don't share things with me, you know. I sent you the video. You want them? You couldn't send me Mr. Ham response?
It wasn't really a response. He just literally said, I'm going to talk to my lawyer. Like, literally was like a 10-second thing.
Yeah, the man say, he didn't say?
What?
I'm going to my lawyer. Are you doing too much? What was your takeaway from the video? Sean said, the man said, as yet.
I don't understand. Okay, I think what was the point that was being made initially was that here is a project that's being done when there's other more pressing issues to be looked at, right? I have my views on that as well, like because we saw our uncle over there in Nevis making some comments about that as well, and his social media. Yes, you saw those posts?
Nope.
So basically, it was like, we approve.
Oh, yeah.
We approve the school, we approve desalination, we approve several things, and here. My thing is, but wait, if I get to say you approve this one too.
But what about president?
Why did I do because do that, like, it doesn't make it feel like that kind of undermine the messaging. Because people just watching it and going, but wait there, you approve this one too.
So they're saying that.
I guess they're saying like we brought in some funds for an investment through the CBA, and instead of it being used to do things that some persons feel are more pressing, they're using it to build prisons. So it's like saying, oh, the Prime Minister just plan to lock up people. That's all they care about.
No, but like we realize the prison in town should not be in town. It smells like things that
but this is my thing.
Can't on the radio. Like,
but that's my thing too.
But I thought they say you were prison. Where you prison no more?
There's several pressing issues. Like
when are going to start the hospital?
I don't even know what the plan is in relation to the hospital. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know.
So they're starting the prison, but they're starting the hospital? Okay, I could see why they said they got more pressing issues, man.
Yes, but that's
I mean, it's important.
No, but this is my thing. There's a couple things. I think the prison funding project, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of run through the CBI. That was one of the CBI projects that they earmarked, right? So, is it that they want us to? Should we have taken the money that persons invested, thinking that this was going to build this particular project, and then just put it into another project?
That is some type of fraud. Or
is it that we should have done a similar initiative for the hospital?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know
what I do. But I feel like if they could find the money for the prison, they could figure it out for the hospital. Because we need it, bro. We need it.
But see, this is what get me upset sometimes. Like, when we start doing these kind of comparative things, it's like, okay, how needed a prison?
How long we need the hospital?
Jade, the hospital literally has been upgraded since the hospital.
May I say you lie?
But that,
what I'm saying is
since actually, the prison they needed to move the prison since 1906.
Since they built
it. The prison has been over.
Why would you? I would like to know who decided that it was a good idea to put a prison in the heart of town.
I guess at the time it was built, the heart of town was the whole of town was just 4th Street.
The body expanded.
So town expanded around the thing. But that's my thing. But this is my problem is, two things could be true. We could need a prison, and we could need upgrades to the whole healthcare system.
No, two things could be true, you know. Two things are true.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we just act as if like, because somebody say one thing, like the next thing somehow is less true. No, the two things true. The two things are true.
The truth is,
the prison. So my thing is, hey, great that the prison is finally being built and that project is starting. But hey, we need to figure out what we're doing here. Like you don't have to diss the prison project to continually agitate. Continually agitate for the hospital project. I don't think you have to somehow. We can only do one thing.
No. The prison literally smell like what? I can't say the other word on the radio. It smells terrible. We have people literally coming here, walking around, and realizing our whole building in town smell raw.
It's toxic.
We need to move it. However, it does not feel good going to the hospital and walking behind there and feeling like you're in Scary Movie 5.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good going to the hospital and seeing rust and old things and a whole graveyard for equipment dead in the front of the hospital. I still don't understand why that is. And medicine in there, or they can't get the proper thick surgeries or whatever it is at the hospital. Two things are true. But yeah, move the prison, man.
Yeah.
Because they're causing us stuff to go to the hospital, I'm sure.
I don't understand. Somebody actually bringing up the point that about the new healthcare, what do they call it?
What?
The new clinic at St. Peter's. No, that is a that is a building, eh? Especially considering the one that they're in now. Why I always
Huge upgrade.
no. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go as far as to say that probably is more needed. Like when you look at the size of the community and the amount of people that live in the St. Peter's area. 'Cause that's the health center it does go to.
Me too, because of you.
Right. So the amount of people that services, the size of the community that services, that cannot sustain. It's incredible that the nurses are able to. Watch it, you ever go up there when his baby there? Me mother's here.
No.
When his baby there? When his baby there? People all on the landing.
Because it's a lot of kids because
It's the fastest growing area in St. Kitts.
yeah. When I used to take Jaden to Junior Town, it used to be so full. As if I would get there at, let's say 7, and I'm not leaving until 12.
Yeah.
So I could imagine. I don't know where all these kids and parents fitting at the little building in St. Peter's.
Yeah. So that one is gonna be welcome. It's gonna be welcome in the community for sure. It's definitely a huge upgrade. It's a big building. The big building. So I'm looking forward to that. What? The one up there? Yeah, bye.
Okay.
Yeah. It's behind the community center.
Oh, maybe that's why I made it.
Yeah, so it's like next to where the so it's literally just across the street from the one that's there now.
Okay.
Just behind the center.
Well, yes, looking forward to that.
Yes, that one gonna be interesting.
What?
How many VIPs in St. Kitts? You mean for the music fest? I think it's three of them, 3 or 4 different VIP experiences.
Where did 3 or 4 come from?
The
One of them was a father? Oh, yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't know that. But that was actually gonna be me gear to go in next week, But since he come up now,
No, don't do it now. What we say
we got problem with VIP with VIP in things, eh?
Wait, how?
VIP is a anyway, maybe people ain't very recognize it. Jade, I am going to contend, right? That the capacity of the VIP areas at Music Fest is more than the actual grounds.
People don't want to stand on the ground.
St. Kitts is the only place I go to, Jade, where you consistently go to free shows and there's VIP areas.
Well, these shows ain't free. So.
I know, Jade.
So.
But
I know what you mean.
But it's weird to me, man. Like, St. Kitts weird when it comes to that.
Let the people
Let them what?
enjoy nice things.
And nobody stopping them? Nobody's stopping them.
You know what we should do? Grab the manifesto of whichever parties wins the government, and then hold them accountable. I thought that's what we're supposed to be doing all the time. That was what we're doing all the time?
If that's what we've been doing?
No, I thought that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's not...
The manifestos come up as a talk piece. Like,
But that's not what... That's not the book of promises.
This is the intentions, what we intend to do and how we intend to do it.
The book of promises.
Yeah,
I thought that's what we... What do you mean? No, hold them accountable.
It don't really work that way. And I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes you understand because, for instance, you could have got all the manifesto you wanted in 2015, and then COVID come and the tail end it. You can't even try bushy in anything, right? For the tail end.
That's understandable.
Right. So, yeah, I understand. What are they peeping? Just peeping, no?
Oh, yeah. It's our guess.
They're just peeping.
Very quiet.
Just peeping.
I mean, you can see me and so. You can go
over the other side. So, but yeah, it's no, we're talking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. It is what it is.
Why do the people let me enjoy themselves here? What else we got on this little agenda? Because we started it, I just asked you a simple question. So your takeaway from the video was what again,
no. So my takeaway was mainly like
I know that's what
like
we started.
we're talking about the points that were being made in the video. At least I don't like the funny thing is that video has not come out. Like the actual interview, like just the confusion at the end come out. So I need to see the actual video.
You ain't think that was the actual video? Friend, that was the interview.
So this was like.
So yeah, you thought Mr. Ham was volunteer?
No, what I'm saying is, it seems as though the clips that's circulating, really, like I haven't seen the start of it. I haven't seen. It's basically the.
No, what I said it was start to finish, man.
Oh.
There was several.
Oh,
well, there
wow.
was multiple.
I saw two.
Yes.
The other thing that was being suggested, I think, is that I don't know if they're saying like this company, whatever, has a contract or whatever. I didn't understand.
But that's not a local company. Man, I understand what's happening here. Why are we supposed to care about this? I guess that's my question. Why is this an important issue for us to care about? Who's supplying blocks for the building of the prison?
Maybe the same based on the relation.
We ever cared about that before? As in the amount of buildings built, there's hotels that started and just stopped randomly. About those? Move.
No, I'm telling you that's what it is.
Listen, I don't care. I don't care. That's not a good enough reason for me to care about some blocks. Okay? Again, there are buildings that have started and just randomly stopped. Hotels that were being built and just randomly stopped. We had opening ceremonies.
There's some of them we had groundbreaking ceremonies and then no ground was broken.
Yeah, I never questioned the blocks then. So why y'all questioning the blocks now? Bro. Too much.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know. Yeah, so one at the house. Yeah, it was two interviews. One at the prison, one at the block location.
The block, like really, y'all making blocks an issue. Listen, y'all, let's not do that.
Again, like I feel like the issue is like one, the fact that the focus is not where they think it should be, and then the one that the other issue is just the issue of corruption and contracts and them kind of things and so on. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know many people that's resonating with, because it seems as though, again, most people's takeaway is look at the faces.
Look at the memes of this.
Yeah,
video.
the memes are coming out of it, and it must be difficult to be a politician right now, because I think politicians are under some of the most scrutiny ever, like with social media, with everything being videotaped, with screenshots, with screenshots, and the way that information is able to just move around so quickly and so freely.
Them leaks or something else, you know?
And literally penetrate any strata of society. Anybody from the Governor General come right down to the person just hanging out at the bar with his friends on the weekend, getting all the information from all these sources.
Everybody have the same amount of access to the information, which is very strange, because certain information is supposed to be kept between certain people. And everybody's supposed to have these things. Can I ask you your real feeling about the outcome of this election as a local living overseas? It coming over as terrible. This ends well. What?
I was saying, praying this ends well.
Yeah, okay. Well,
the outcomes of the election. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we can't really.
I could tell you. I keep saying I have a couple fears. I have a couple of fears. I don't believe that I have the same level of oh my god that some people seem to have, and that might just be me, my own ignorance. Right, that might be my own ignorance, not really recognizing just what is happening or whatever. Like, for sometimes people say things like make it seem like the world coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean,
right? With what's happening, and as much as I recognize the importance of having stable government, smooth transition between government and in between elections and them kind of things, a lot of this one I think is expected. But when I look at the lives, and I think part of it for me is that I travel around so much. So when I look at like the way we are living, I go, we really blessed here as a nation, eh?
No, yeah.
We're really blessed here as a nation. Now, is it that I don't recognize that the situation we're in is not concerning? No, it's not that. I definitely recognize that, but my concern at this particular point is, hey, when the elections are called and we have that, at the end of it, do we have that smooth transition of power? Are we able to and I'm consistently becoming more and more fearful about what the outcomes are going to be, because like I said here before, I believe that there is a huge possibility that at the end of the next election, we're jumping right back into another election.
They better not, as them.
No, the reason I'm saying that is what I am hearing from a lot of the leaders, right? A lot of the persons even around the political parties. And the reason I bring up those is because I would have wanted to believe that no matter what was going on personal feelings amongst the actual candidates, right? There should be an understanding that just as we expect the population to work together in spite of whatever personal gripes you have. If you're going in your office and you're this person here got a little personal gripe or whatever, your boss watching you like you're crazy if you ain't doing the job, yeah.
You have to do the job, eh?
Your boss watching you crazy, don't come tell me something about, but you ain't no bullshit now, you ain't no bullshit. The boss ain't watching that there. One eye I go figure it out. Exactly. So if we could expect them things here in our jobs and things, why we can't expect that there from these people?
They better get together and come in doing this again, you know.
And they were like,
I
don't know. Maybe
now and when another election is actually supposed to be due.
Maybe I'm just like maybe an optimist, or maybe I'm just naive. But I totally like, for me the arguments of like, watch here, just get the full mandate. And you hear that from you. Of course, you can hear that from all the thing. Let's get the full mandate because that is what going bode best for us to not end back up in this situation. Now, I would wonder sometimes if it's a matter that there's something inherently wrong with the concept of coalition governments. Or it's just the people that we put in India can't work together because of their own differences. And my thing is, the differences for me aren't necessarily ideological. At least from the party perspective.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know if it's really ideological, like, or this person is, for instance, you'll use these convoluted terms in other countries, like, oh, you're a left winger, I'm a right wing person, I'm a centrist. Like, I don't even know if we have those types of beliefs here. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you talk to most of the people, they have very similar ideas of the direction the country should go in, the things that are important. How do we address these issues? A lot of it are like people have very similar ideas, and the idea that people trying to put across to me that somehow these ideas are somehow so totally different between. I'd be like, what are you talking about? We have had different parties in power, different governments over time. Very little change to things like the tax structure. Very little change to the political structure. Very little change. So by then, to me, and of course, we're not voting for prime minister. We're voting for, of course, the parliamentary representative for your particular constituency, right? So at the end of the day, it comes down to people. It comes down to you voting for this person who you believe is going to be the person who best represents your interest at the highest level. At the highest level of politics.
Yeah, it's very strange that, as you said, that we are expected to work together in any environment that we're in.
Be able to put aside personal differences for the good of, for instance, the company.
But y'all can't.
For the good of the country. Like, we expected to do that, you know.
But y'all can't do it? Oh, but that's what y'all job supposed to be anyway.
Don't come telling me, but this person here is a snake. This person is a scorpion. This person is a this, however. Like, imagine me saying that they on my job. Imagine me going to my boss when my boss bring me and such in, because obviously productivity is going down. The job isn't getting done effectively, and then he bring me and this person in and say, hey, what is going on with you? And I in there sitting down talking about how this person is. Why she just to lie? She just to cheat? I can't stand her.
Your boss watching
My boss watching me like a crazy.
Your boss mingle with you.
My boss watching me like a crazy.
Yep.
So what is the issue? What is the issue?
Yep.
And I said it already, and people get vexed with me,
That's not my friend.
People get vexed with me, say, oh, you don't understand. You don't know the person.
Of course we
you
don't
know you don't know them people over there.
We don't want
I'm
to.
just
We
like-
just want to know that y'all are doing the best job for the country.
Maybe I'm just gullible and naive. Maybe that's why it is.
You think so?
You want to take it out?
Yeah, let's take one call before we jump into the next interview.
Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up? Let's take this one instead. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Good morning. I think the problem is, that it's not just about personal differences, right? The issues that are being brought to the fore are deep-seated, serious issues of things like resource sharing and accountability in government. Those are really big-ticket items. These are not just personal issues. It may seem personal when they call each other snakes and scorpions and all of that. And by the way, have you ever tried seeing a pit with snakes and scorpions working together? Can't happen. And that is why coalition governments are sort of predestined to fail. Because it's hard to work with people who are not like-minded. Not that it can't be done, but it is hard to do. Okay, and that is why a clear mandate is so necessary. At least for 5 years, it gives the country some room to breathe, settle down and develop, rather than being in constant campaign mode, than being tugged and pushed in a cabinet.
We've had governments that have had overwhelmingly clear mandates, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it still felt that the country would have been in campaign mode at the time. You think
Always in campaign
you think
mode.
part of that has to do with? But let me ask you, what do you think that's the case? If you agree.
Well, the thing is, in politics, you will always have these differences, regardless of whether it's a coalition government or one with a clear
Precisely.
mandate, right? Because there are people there who obviously, usually politicians are ambitious people, I mean, they go after power. And when they see an opportunity, they generally grab it, right? That is true of most politicians, right? So but that is not the issue. The issue is that what the systems should keep those sorts of people in check. People with power are likely to abuse it, and the system should keep them in check. All right? I mean, and the thing is, we're still a developing country. We're not Israel or Italy, where you can have coalition governments and you can have a government this week and then another one the next month, and things go on as normal, because government influence in those countries is much less. The private sector is more developed, and politicians generally cannot affect the day-to-day living of most people. Down here, it is very different. Politicians are intimately involved in not only the day-to-day running of government, but the day-to-day running of people's lives. And that is what makes it so important that we have the right people there. And if you have the people there who have messed up, why in the world would you put them back to mess up again? It makes no sense.
Okay, so you're agreeing that we shouldn't put back the governments that we had before?
Not only some of them.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. The existing government, right, have plans and programs, etc. And it's obvious because they themselves said they were dysfunctional. Okay? If they messed up, you hold them accountable. Right?
That's not what I'm
How
asking.
else
I'm
would
saying
you
you're
do
saying
it?
we're not
How
supposed to
else
put
would
back
you
people
say
that we had
change?
before?
Huh?
So no, that's not what I was asking you. I'm asking if you're saying that we shouldn't re-elect politicians that we had before.
Who are deemed to be to not do the job properly.
Well, ideally, you should have you should demand a fresh set. Unfortunately, the fresh set may not have all of what it takes to run a government. So
put them
really
back.
and truly, you should have a mixture.
Put back some other ones. Who was there before?
And hope that they've learned their lesson from what has happened before when the people reject them. And if they didn't learn the lesson and continue the same path, you have no option but to change the government. That is why I say keep changing until you get the change you want.
I love how hopeful you are, man. If we only had the kind of hope that you had, the world would be such a better place.
Right.
No, it's not a matter of hope.
You just say we should hope that they learn the lesson.
Oh, well, okay, in that sense, yes. But what I'm saying is, along with that, you have to have systems that hold them accountable, right? That is what is lacking, because a lot of what is coming out now would have been known by the public, and they would have made better decisions.
Sorry,
Okay?
Mr. McMahon, unfortunately, we have to wrap you up because we have an interview that we really have to jump into.
Sure.
And we've already gone over the time. But thank you for your call, as usual.
All right, then.
Yeah, guys, we're going to take a short break. And as Jade mentioned just now, we're going to jump back into our interview with a very special guest in studio with
I
us.
hope you're ready,
Of course.
Let's help you in the hot seat.
Oh, please. They don't come up here because up here just chill and nice and friendly. But guys, we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. Stick and stay.
It's Horseman's Building Center's Switch On Electrical and Lighting Sales Event happening now until July 31st at Horseman's Building and Nevis Center. Our electricals and lighting departments will be switched on with 25% off. That's right, 25% off electricals and lighting products happening now until July 31st. 25% off on all electricals and lighting products at Horseman's Building Centers on St. Kitts and Nevis. Switch on the deals, switch on the quality products, switch on the savings, and switch on 25% off on all electricals and lighting products today. Horsewood's Building and Nevis Centers. We've got the savings switched on. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hey guys, morning and welcome back to Island T right here on Win Media SKN. And you all right, Jay?
No.
Oh yeah, we heard. We heard. But I could tell you one person that is doing quite well. I can tell just from his demeanor. He came in here, he's all bouncy and spring.
Chipper.
Yeah.
Politician.
In the studio with us, we have none other than Mr. Stacia Williams. Stacia, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning to everyone listening out there and watching live. I'm doing absolutely amazing this morning. Thank you, Azim and Jade, for having me on this program.
You see what I'm saying, Jade?
You know one thing I love about these fresh politicians? They just come with the most energy and stuff, right?
We're fresh.
Did I come in and like, oh man, I have not a care in the
Not
world.
a care in the world.
That's on the campaign trail here.
Okay.
No,
Doing
man,
your
we
thing.
have some care, man. Our care is for the people. As in, we have care. I have care.
Indeed.
You know, so I'm here to care and share that care.
Where you say the slogan be?
Winning for the people of constituency number 5. Winning big for Sandy Point, Fiction, La Valley.
Not that
Alright.
one, man. I like that one, but not that
We ain't game
one.
say it before the show, though.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man. We ain't game say it, yeah.
That slogan is something that persons have put out there, you know, but based on how they feel.
So how they feel?
They feel like I'm on like boiled corn.
Stacia, of course, we are speaking about, for persons who may not be aware, that on Sunday, you were officially launched.
It was Saturday, actually.
On Saturday, sorry. On Saturday, you were officially launched as the official candidate for PLP running in the constituency number 5 in the upcoming election, right?
Yes.
I must say, when you were announced, there seemed to have been a lot of energy behind the announcement. There seemed to have been a lot of your supporters, personal supporters, present at the event. Let's speak just a bit about how you got to that point. That point being, hey, a man who is known to be, by some metric, successful in business, entrepreneurial. I have my own companies that I've built up over time. But now here I am, putting myself in a position in front of the people of constituency number 5 to be their political representative. How did that evolution happen?
Great question, Azim. I never saw myself as a politician, I'll be honest with you. Ever since I was a young boy growing up in Sandy Point, down the back way to be exact, in very humble circumstances with my mother who had 10 of us.
Well, anyway, is it?
With my mother, single parent, who had 10 of us in a
God bless us all.
2-bedroom
Right?
shack.
My word.
Yes, we wonder how she got it do. But she taught us the importance of making do with the little you had. She taught us how to work together to make ends meet because we really didn't have much. And the only way we could have survived is to work together in our small community there. There were many neighbors as well, who in order for all of us to survive, we had to live neighborly. We had to find ways to work together. And so those early days, I learned how to work with people, how to provide, how to collaborate. And I grew with that in me. And so from very early on into my teenage years, etc., I've always been helping people. I've always been passionate about helping people, understanding where I came from, understanding the plight and difficulties that I would have endured in my own early life. And so that stayed with me throughout my life as I grew, and then I eventually had to find a way to move forward. Let me tell you, you ask about business, how did that come about? You ask about politics, how did that come about? So I'm going to give a little brief introductory and to develop the story, not in much detail. But at 19 years old, I started my business, and one of the reasons why that happened is because there was a need. 2 ways. My own family had very little means, and I had to find a way to try to provide. My mother was depending on me to provide for the family, and so I had to find a way. So I came up with an innovative idea. 1, to satisfy the need of the family at home, because we had to find a way. But 2, because I recognized there was also a need in the community and St. Kitts Nevis at large. And so my pioneering enterprise, SKN Vibes, which is widely known, became a household name.
Indeed.
Eventually across St. Kitts and Nevis. There was that gap where no online services existed at the time. There was no way for the masses, for the public at large, and for persons living overseas to really connect with what's happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So I saw that need, and so I had the early advantage of moving on that. And so that was 2 needs that were being fulfilled at the time. Now, that experience also led me to realize the importance of helping and serving people. And that experience helped me over the years, some 20 years now, of building critical relationships, building relationships that matters, touching lives, employing people, providing opportunities. That has been who I am all the time. And even in the community, I was involved in the scout groups. I was involved in the spirit group of Sandy Point, where our efforts were bringing the community together. And I saw the look on persons' faces when they realized that they are important and they can contribute towards the development of our community. And so it's that trajectory that kind of laid the foundation for where I am today. Not that I wanted to do it, but when in recent times, the people of constituency number 5 realized that they've been neglected, they've been abandoned, they're trying to move ahead with the hardships of the pandemic, and no one, their representatives, seem not to care, seem not to be there for them. And flat out, they've told me that he's just not taking them on. The cries of the people is what brought me forward as him, because at a true Sandy Point at heart, and knowing that we are SP where the best be, and I'm a defender of that, I recognize that there was a need. And persons in the community who I respect have called upon me many times and said, Stacia, we know you're a businessman, but we've seen the successes, we've seen what you have done. Can you come forward and represent us? We are confident that someone like you could deliver for us in Sandy Point. And so I've answered the call of the people. And to be honest, Azim, I'm very happy that I did, because the overwhelming show of love and support, it really plays to the passion of who I am. I'm just going in there, the alleyways, the byways, talking to people, vibing with them, understanding their cries, and discussing with them solutions, not making promises, but understanding their concerns, and together collaborating around solutions that can move our community and our constituency forward. So that's in a nutshell of how I came to where I am today.
I understand. I mean, the thing for me is that there is no way that we can really separate our environments, the environments that we came up in, that we spend so much time in, the people that we interact with as we evolve and as we grow. We can't separate that from who we have eventually become, right? And hearing you speak, I'm hearing a lot from you saying that the man that I am is a direct result of the experiences I've had in my hometown, right?
That's right.
And you feel now that there is a responsibility on your part to answer the call of the people. That's a fair assessment?
That is a very fair assessment. The community has played an important role in my formative years, and so I am here to give back to that community that I love so much and the people who deserve better.
All right. Now, when we start talking about entering the political arena, right, there are several ways in which one can become involved, including aligning yourself and drawing on the resources and the infrastructure of a political party. You've done just that. And in answering the calls, have aligned yourself with the People's Labour Party. What was it about that particular movement that you felt tied in so closely with what it is that you wanted to achieve personally?
Well, first of all, as in answering the call, I recognize that the PAM has neglected Sandy Point and our people, and they have done so for the past near 25 years. And I say that because I go back to the days when we had not just this current representative who is the Deputy Prime Minister, but we've had a Deputy Prime Minister before by way of the Honorable Hugh Heiliger, who also lost because of similar things that we're seeing happening here today, right? And so we've seen the neglect of Sandy Point over the past 3 decades by PAM. We've also seen the abandonment by Labour because they had a chance as well to do better than what we were getting when they had that Sandy Point seat for that one term. And what we saw was more abandonment, more of the same. And so my alignment with the PLP is because we've seen the best of PAM and what they've done. We've seen the best of Labour, what they've done. And to be quite honest, Sandy Point and the Constituency 5, Victory and the Valley, still comes up lacking. We have not advanced. That great town that we once were And so my joining with the PLP is an opportunity not just for our constituents to try something new, but to try an option that has been proven to deliver under the leadership of Dr. Timothy Harris, our leader. The PLP has shown in the last 7 years that we were able to implement programs that help the poor, programs that was able to help us during these tough economic times of the pandemic. There's proven leadership there. And so the PLP also provides that unifying force, right? That sits, we're not so far to the left of a red, not so far to the right of a yellow. But I've said that in primary school in Sandy Point, I learned that when you mix red and yellow, you get orange, right? And so orange is that unifying force. And we welcome all. We welcome all. We embrace all the members of the PLP from both sides of the political divide. And so, and not just for St. Kitts alone, even on Nevis, any political party, we welcome everyone because we are not about the old style of politics. We are about a new way of life that really delivers that secure future for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and for me in particular, my good constituents, my good people, Sandy Point, Fictional Valley.
I mean, I totally understand what you're saying in regards to, hey, we have tried the rest, and apparently you're suggesting that now it's time to try the best, right?
Absolutely.
But people would make an argument for what you're saying in terms of, hey, there's a proven track record that speaks well to the leadership of the Prime Minister. And I have questions about that based on things that are now being said, accusations that are being made. And my question to you is, based on your personal interactions with the Prime Minister, what are your takeaways from those interactions in terms of the man that he is? And how do you reconcile that with what is being said about him by some of his former political partners?
My personal experiences with the Prime Minister is that he is a caring man, right? He has shown, beyond most politicians I've seen, that he can embrace people of all color, all walks of life, whether you're old, young, rich or poor. The Prime Minister has shown, in my opinion, that he is the man that can deliver for all people and can embrace all. That has been my personal experience with him, so I can speak from that. In terms of what other persons might have said out there, politics will be politics. People will always have difference of opinion, but the record would show that as a leader, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, but across the Caribbean, OACS and the region, that the leadership that have been on display here, the leadership here in St. Kitts and Nevis, has stand as a stellar example. Many persons, many other governments look to St. Kitts and Nevis and wonder how we get it do. Our economy stood strong during the time of the pandemic, and that came from the leadership, you know. So if you're talking about the future, if you're thinking about securing the way forward, and just an example of the last 7 years, people can have differences of opinion, but one thing that everybody can agree on is that St. Kitts and Nevis stood tall during those times, and that came from the astute leadership of our leader.
Yeah, I think, of course, now as we start, talking about the future for your particular constituency and, of course, the wider nation, right? If you're going to come from a place of, hey, we have been neglected, then there must be some issues, some undeniable issues that needs addressing within the particular community. What would be some of those particular issues that you seek to find the solutions for? And have you, at this point, through your consultations, begun to identify how to address some of those issues?
Absolutely. I see through my canvassing efforts, through the walkthroughs I've been doing in the community, the widespread neglect. And not just for the people but neglect in terms of infrastructure, neglect when it comes to things like housing.
But that's what I want to know, Stacia. I want to know, because we could use these terms. We could say we were neglected and whatever, but we need to see tangible.
I'm going to speak about the tangibles, right? I'm just telling you what you asked about the problems that I've seen, and I'm going to tell you about the solution. All right. So my plan is to secure that future for Sandy Point by restoring the pride of the people. I have decided to set up on Mount Idle a vision center. Most candidates would have put down a traditional constituency office, but I recognize that one of the reasons why we're struggling in my particular constituency is that there's been no plan. There's been no long-term plan or vision for the development of Sandy Point, Fictional Valley. So I start by putting down a vision center, which is going to be launched officially on Tuesday coming, 28th. So I invite you, I invite the entire public to come out and witness a new brand of development within Sandy Point, where the vision, the long-term plan will be on display for all to see transparently at the Vision Center. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that. So that plan would speak about how Stacia Williams, the PLP representative, is going to set up business incubators within the community. And we're going to start at the primary school level, where we identify talents and skills within individuals very early on and channel them into a parallel program that would help to hone those skills and provide them with managerial support, how to create a business plan, how to shape those ideas, so that very early on, just like myself, who was able to start a business at 19, there's nothing to stop someone who, if they're able to develop their business acumen early, start at the age of 10 years old, even earlier, right, and establish businesses. So that is something that I am passionate about and I want to implement. And by way of the Vision Center, we'll have someone stationed there as well who could assist with business plans. We'll put the mentorship programs in place to ensure that that is so. And the business incubator programs will provide all the managerial support, accounting support, legal support, and once the program is successful, financial support that starts up that business so that we can see more entrepreneurs. It's part of our job creation policy, because a lot of times people think we'd have to go somewhere to work and get a job. I am a primary example of that. I've never worked for anyone but myself throughout my entire life. Well, the early part I would have done some summer jobs while I was in school, but from the time I finished, I've established my business and I've been on my own, hiring people, providing opportunities. We need to see more of that because there's more Stacios in Sandy Point, Fig Tree in the Valley. They exist.
I think traditionally, Sandy Point has been at some point economic hub itself. Right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So what you're saying is that there has been a bit of a drop off in that, and you're intending to do things to bring that back?
Absolutely. Okay. This is something we're proud about. We've been prideful about. Sandy Point was the largest town outside of Bastia, where the people didn't have to leave. I grew up in a time when we didn't have to leave. We can go, we can shop, clothes, shoes, thriving supermarket, thriving stores, craft vendors, a public market that was thriving as well. Every day selling fruits and vegetables. That again is non-existent. I want to look at food security, supporting our farmers, giving them the requisite support for irrigation systems so that they could have the materials, fencing, support with land and different irrigation systems and seedling support, all the different things that they would need. I'm actually setting up a meeting with the farmers to discuss this because nothing that I'm saying is going to just be something I'm prescribing. I want to collaborate with every sector to ensure that we're taking into account what their primary needs are and we're meeting them. Food security to the point of reopening the public market, encouraging more produce, and giving them the opportunities by way of technology, again, that I'm passionate about, where they could export and market their services online, export and sell to other communities. So that's one area. In terms of fishing, that's another area that we want to invest in heavily. The Pompey area, the Fig Tree area has been a fishing community. The facilities there are non-existent. So my plan is to invest in the restoration of those facilities. As I don't know if you know that Pump Bay was once a major port of entry. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Actually.
Customs was there.
I didn't know that.
The Caribbean Queen at one point used to dock there. Yes. There were boats that would trade between the neighboring islands, St. Martin, Stacia, and so on. It's right there. There's a dock in Sandy Point. It's still an official port of entry. It's just there are no pays there.
The infrastructure isn't there.
The infrastructure isn't there. So my plan is to restore that infrastructure, right? That brings it back as a major port. The recently established police station now houses a customs and excise department, immigration. So those things are there.
Right.
In a physical building. But the infrastructure and the port side of it is not there.
Okay.
So we need to make that whole, right? And again, that would only encourage more entrepreneurship, more opportunities, more jobs for the people. The boulevard in that area, you see, I'm pretty sure you've been down there at least once, down by Rum Dog Bar and so on, right? Good. There is a great opportunity there. That beautiful Black Sand Beach. Many tourists who travel the world over, when they land there and they visit Sandy Point, they're amazed by the Black Sand Beach and what the potential is and the opportunity to have even more economic activity there. So my plan also includes setting up that as a complete boulevard where businesses can thrive and locally owned businesses as well, so that it could become a major tourism and entertainment destination on the western part of St. Kitts as well. And again, that provides jobs, it provides opportunity for young people, young and old, to own business and feed their families. You know, there's some of the areas. I also want to point out one other thing. I am in pursuit of a zero poverty agenda. In pursuit, I say, because one of the things I notice, again, you ask, when I walk through the community, I'm seeing pockets of poverty and situations that I don't think should exist in 2022. Persons who still are using outside toilets, for example.
Right.
You know, persons who don't have the basic needs, the basic things they need to feed their family and their children. It hurts me because when we say SP where the best be, that is not an indicator. That's not what we're talking about. And so when I see these things, I know it came from the widespread neglect in the community by our representative, who would say his hands are tied. People are crying out for help. They're not looking for handouts. They're looking for genuine assistance as far as being able to advance themselves. They're looking for ways, and all they need is that support. All they need is that care. I am here to provide that care to them by setting up a hardship fund, for example, where persons, and I mean, in a few days actually, I'll be talking more about that, and for the launch of my vision, our vision center, where persons who, for whatever reason, through the pandemic or life emergencies, crises, can have that hardship fund that is locally funded by our local entrepreneurs and people in the community. It's a community helping each other. Persons can get assistance from that, and there's going to be a community council as well that governs that looks out for their affairs. I believe that in Sandy Point, and I know in my heart that there are people who have what it takes to make this happen. And everyone who can lend support to this will be brought on board to ensure that it is a transparent process, to ensure that we can truly advance our community without necessarily having the support of government. And this is where I say that I don't buy the excuse that people say, oh, I'm in a position or whatever, our hands are tied.
Right,
we need to be creative and innovative. And that is the difference that I bring to Sandy Point. I've shown my creativity and resilience and innovation when I created my businesses. And I'm now drawing from that success story to implement programs in Sandy Point, Fictional Valley, that would advance our community and our people forward. That's just a taste, but our Vision Center, we don't outline more plans, and we launch it on Tuesday.
I understand that you of course are going to give us a little teaser of what the Vision Center is, because on Tuesday said the launch is. That is right. when the full plans are going to be laid out. But there's two things that you said just now that I want to highlight, because it's almost like you're echoing things that I have been speaking about right here on the show. One, the fact that a lot of times when politicians are outlining plans for the community, there is a recognition of, for instance, you're talking about the situation where you have these little pockets of poverty that you feel with the right impetus could be
The right interventions.
Right.
Yes.
There's also talk about how we put in roads, we put backboards on the basketball court, we put lights on where the field, those kind of things. A lot of times I want to talk about.
Yes.
However, what I believe sometimes gets neglected is the intangible part of the community, the spirit.
I see where you're going. I'm not going to allow you to say it. I will say it, right? Because the infrastructure is one thing. And by the way, it is still lacking. But it's not about the facility. It's about what goes on within the facility. It's about the people who show up in the facilities. For example, let's talk about sports. One of my plans is to re-establish grassroots programs that would help to develop the sporting talent in Sandy Point, right, in the constituency. Starting again from the primary school level all the way up with mentorship programs, providing the equipment that we need, providing the training gear, providing the coaches, and be very serious about it, because the programs that you put together is what really matters. It's missing right now. There's no proper leagues that are happening in Sandy Point right now. None. In my day growing up, the families would come out on Sundays to support their various teams. Cleverly Hill versus Fig Tree, Crab Hill versus the Alley, Mount Tidal versus the Gut. Those type of things. The various areas would compete. And because of those leagues, we would find the best of our sportsmen evolving and emerging to represent on the national team and further afield. So that's missing, Azim, and you're alluding to that program. Those programs are my focus because it's focused on people.
Right. And I mean, for me as well, what I was getting at is one of the things that I've always admired about the people of that particular constituency, but in particular Sandy Point, has been this sense of pride about from the people there, right? And it's something that I think a lot of times gets overlooked. Sometimes people just look at it like it's like a joke or whatever, but I think that is very important when you start talking about community. People having a true sense about what is it that we do here, who we are as a people, because I think it really gives people something to strive about. So when you're doing things like the Vision Center, that seems to really focus on long-term planning and outlooks and programs to bring about lasting and sustainable change, then them is things I like to hear, right? I like to hear about things that ain't going to really just focus on what we're doing up until the next election. Right?
Absolutely.
So kudos on that type of thing. The other thing that you said that I found very interesting, again, something that I kind of try to advocate for, is the idea of communities organizing and doing for themselves, even outside of the political structure, right? Because sometimes when you start, the political structure have to come, because they don't want to be absent from the good things that's happening. But empowering people to be able to do things for self, I think, is something that is lacking a lot of communication. I have a story in that.
You are familiar with the Spirit Group of Sandy Point?
Yeah.
And the Spirit Group that brought Blacks and Bangalang Festival? I was one of the original founders of that group. That group Spirit means Sandy Pointers inspiring real improvement throughout. That's what Spirit stands for. Right? And so me and my colleagues who would have came up with that group and was able to make great inroads in the early days has shown clearly that we can, as a community, because we did not have any support, none, from the government, and we were intent on doing it without government support. So we've already shown that we can do, the community can do. Persons were coming out, making their contributions, having families together. For the first time we've seen in a very long time that emergence there. So you're correct. And so my plan also includes fostering those things. And even better now, if we have government policy and support, when I'm elected, I could now lend support to that as well. So we're certainly on the right track, and people are seeing the vision, seeing the way forward, and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I mean, listening to you sound very passionate, and it seems like you have a vision for the job that you have to do. But you are very young and new to politics. What challenges do you foresee yourself having jumping into this arena, especially seeing that election is literally some weeks away, and you have just been launched as a new candidate?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take any elections for someone like me to be passionate about our community or delivering. A while ago when I was talking about the spirit group of Sandy Point, the elections are important as a formality to elect a representative. But the truth is I've always been representing the people, which is why they call on me. And so to answer you directly, using the experiences I've had, my track record in business and action, I am the youngest candidate of the three in the race. But if you compare track record for track record, I have already delivered so much more. And there's a trust and confidence that the people in Sandy Point, Fictional Valley, has reposed in me already, even before politics, knowing that I can deliver for them and I care about them. And so that is what it takes to show up. So the next couple of weeks, really, just having been launched is really just a formality. For me, I'm already doing the work and I will continue to do the work. And it doesn't take politics. But politics and being in the government as a representative allows that elevated position where I could now, using the community development aspects that I've already laid foundation for, I could now utilize the government policies and help to fight for those policies to ensure that the community now can be made whole, that persons can come together, that we can truly feel in our hearts that we are SP, we're the best be.
Well, Sandy Point has been essentially what you could call a Pam town for years upon years, as the Deputy Prime Minister has been leading there for a while, and before that, I will assume that there was a Pam minister.
I think it was only one term that there was a Labour candidate.
Okay. How do you think you will feel coming up against somebody who has held the support of the Sandy Point community for so many years, and then still having to do battle with somebody who has been in the political arena, contesting Sean for a few, for the time that I can remember, he has been contesting Sean on the Labour ticket. How do you think you will fare against those two seasoned politicians?
Well, first of all, to think that Sandy Point is a Pam town is a fallacy. Couldn't be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, as him just mentioned that at one point there was a Labour candidate, right? So to say that it's a Pam town is not correct. The truth is, Sandy Pointers are very peculiar people. We are proud people, and we always look for the best representation. The challenge is that the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party has never been able to mount a sufficiently good qualified candidate, right? Saved and except for the time for Jacinta Martin, who then got the seat, but we saw what happened, right? Sandy Pointers look for real people who could represent them. People are not going to let them down. The challenge is that the current representative has been letting people down. So here I am. You want to know how I stack up against them? My record of delivery, the things that I've done in the community, the trust and confidence that persons having me is what's shining through at the moment. Is what's shining through because people realize that I'm an action person. I'm just someone who comes on the scene and talk. I will never talk about how my hands are tied. And as him, you've known me for years too. Mm. And many of the young people within our space knows that Stacia is a man that delivers big ideas, big things, and get the job done. Full stop. And so I'm not worried about season this and season that. Because guess what? With all the seasoning, the thing still spoil. All the seasoning and nothing to do. So that doesn't matter. Right? There's a time and a place and a season. And this season has passed. This is a new season. The dawn of a new era. And so the people, our good people in Sandy Point, Fictional Valley, Constituency 5, are proud to usher in a new representative by Stacia Williams, who they are confident is going to deliver for all, each and every single one of them. No party, no color, Sandy Point. It's not about party, it's about SP. And we'll truly make it about the people. And that is what I bring to the table.
All right, Stacia, man, I totally hear what you're saying, and I think you really provide an option for the people of Sandy Point that they truly would have to consider coming up in the next election. But I want to move the conversation a bit further afield to a national level. We have seen that in politics, there seems to have been a bit of dysfunction, and I think that comes out of the fact that we are a new democracy, we're a new country, we're still having those growing pains as we continue to try and shape things in the way that work best for us, right? What are some of the areas that you, and I'm speaking to you as someone who, this is your first time entering politics in this particular way as a candidate, being associated with a party, right? So you must have been looking on and seeing some of the things that you think are necessary for us to amend, change, do away with, or things that we need to implement to really move the country forward politically, right? And as it relates to really the governance of the country. Are there any issues that you would have recognized? What are they, and what do you think we need to do to address the issue of governance as a whole?
Well, governance is always about the people, right? What I recognize, first of all, and you talk about how we move forward from a political standpoint, the country's been too polarized, right? Where one side not talking to one side and so on. One of the first things we need to address is this polarization and tribal politics. We need to eradicate that. And my joining the PLP team has been about that, because I see this is the best opportunity to do just that. One of the reasons why we would have seen some recent issues is because of the same thing. You know, different people trying to talk at each other because at the end of the day, maybe there's some philosophy or some way in which they want to see things go. The truth is, our community, our people have to be united, especially now. We have to stand united. And so if you look carefully at our team, it's a makeup of persons who come from different political backgrounds coming together, and we have openly welcomed all. So that's one of the first things. If we can then stand united, you know what they say, united we stand, divided we fall. If we're united in that approach, we can achieve many great things. The healthcare issues that are being talked about, if we can stand united, we're able to implement policies that can deal with that properly, right? If we can stand united, the challenges we're facing economically, we're able to overcome those because we could better implement policies that takes care of these economic challenges. We've seen some strong administrative support already. Imagine what we can do if we can have 5 more years of the type of leadership and the type of advanced thinking that has existed within our camp. Again, we're preaching that level of welcoming all on board, embracing all ideas, embracing all our people so we can move forward together. That is how, in my opinion, we solve these things. Of course, there'll always be issues to solve, but it's how you think about the solution. For me, I am solutions oriented. Every problem I see is an opportunity to provide a solution. And so with my team, with our leader, we already started looking at, and you'll see our manifesto when it's released, key areas of problem solving by way of applying policies and solutions to those. That comes only under government that is properly united around the people and delivering for the people.
Totally understand. I mean, the point that you made about a need to eradicate, I think was the word you used, the polarization and political tribalism that we have. I think that is a huge task, but a necessary one if we really want to maximize the potential that we have here as Kittitians and divisions. So, I mean, hopefully that is something that as we move forward, we could see dissipating.
I think it will.
I keep saying, I think we're at a crossroads right now. I think this particular election can go a long way in either cementing the tribalism that exists or
making
eradicating
or breaking us. And I'm going to put my positive on the making us. I'll tell you why. For the very first time in our history, you've seen a suite of young candidates come out, right? It signals the end of the old style way of doing things. That's what this is. And what I'm noticing is that even among or even across the political divide, a lot of our young candidates have been friends.
Yeah.
You know, we're not at each other's throats. And at least from my area, you would not see that coming out. The old time way of doing things is gone. And if you look at PLP in particular, we have shown ways, ordinary people who all came from humble circumstances and humble beginnings, coming forward to represent. Because we all understand the plight of the ordinary man. We understand it. And we know what it takes to move the country forward. Together, I say. And that is a critical thing. I know that it's difficult for red to do it. I know that it's difficult for yellow to do it. You know why? Because they keep fighting each other. But what is the one party that shows it has embraced all members of the political divide? And the answer is clear. It is the PLP, and that is why we have the largest turnouts. We have the largest number of persons showing up now, because in our hearts as a people of St. Kitts and Nevis, we know that in order to move forward, we have to move forward together, done with this tribalism. And the PLP and our leadership and our candidates represent that.
Well, Stacia, on that note, we're going to have to wrap up. Time is fast spent. But, I mean, we appreciate you taking the time out to come and hang out with us, talk to us and our sippers right here on Island Tea. And I know that the next couple of weeks is going to be very intense, very involved for you. But, wishing you all the best on your campaign. And at the end of the day, I think we all want what's best for the people of the country, and in particular, as I speak to the people of Constituency 5.
I need to end by saying a special good morning again, and a thank you to the people of Constituency 5, especially my PLP campaign team who's been out there with me, and the young people who've been supporting me. It is refreshing to see how many volunteers have come forward in the interest of our community. And I'm seeing the same thing across the board for my colleagues as well. I want to say thank you to all of you who've been supporting us. Thank you for all of you who've been extending your well wishes, and we appreciate you, and we will deliver that secure future for you. Thank you so much for having me, Azim. And Jade, it's been a pleasure being here.
All right, Stacia. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk to you again sooner rather than later. And again, thank you for coming and being part of the show this morning, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back right here on Island Tea. Stick and stay.
Kids, drink healthy. Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste. Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island T right here on Win Media SKN. And yeah, it's still Hump Day. And of course, we just got out of an interview, and then we have been joined by another friend of the show. Actually, he's been here before.
Yes.
And he's joining us via Zoom. Jade, you want to introduce?
Yes. Good morning to Mr. Peter Miller from the CPL camp. How are you doing, friend?
I think your mic might be muted.
Just an absolute professional from the get-go. Hi guys, lovely to talk to you, Jade. I was trying to, my phone's been vibrating because we've got some quite exciting big news going on, so I was trying to keep you away from that. So, but yeah, lovely to talk to you as ever. Thank you for having me on your wonderful show. Long-time listener, so you know, great to be here.
Appreciate that. Well, I mean, every time you come and hang out with us, of course, we can expect some amazing news. As it relates to cricket and what's happening in the cricketing world. What is happening? Let us know. So,
we've got a new tournament. We've decided that having one massive global event in the Caribbean is not enough for us.
What?
So we're having another one.
What?
And the really exciting news is it's going to be in St. Kitts. So, from the 24th to the 28th of August, there is going to be a 60-ball T10 competition called the 60, taking place in St. Kitts. And there will be the 6 men's CPL teams, the 3 women's CPL teams, and we've brought in some new fun innovations, which is going to make it probably the most cutting-edge cricket tournament ever. And obviously, what other place could we have to host it other than the quickest scoring ground in world cricket, Warner Park? So, yeah, very exciting. And it's coming soon. Tickets should be on sale imminently for people to get there and come and watch the best men's and the best women's cricketers fight it out in a T10 format.
I don't even know what to say. Look, like, this is what it is for me, Jade. I am quite a fan of the shorter form cricket games, right? Mm-hmm. I'm quite a fan. Like, I've already been looking forward. They're saying that it's gonna be like T10 at the Olympics coming up. I'm looking forward to that. But guess what? We have a full T10 tournament. You said it's going to be called the 60?
The 60.
Yes.
So,
I like
the way it's going to be slightly different from other tournaments that have gone before. Because there's fewer overs, there's fewer wickets. You lose 6 wickets, you're all out.
Nice.
Which is going to be really interesting from a tactical point of view. Teams are going to be able to pick guys that they don't have to worry about their batting because they're never going to bat. They're just going to be able to pick.
Right, exactly.
Bowlers, they never have to. 3 bowlers that never ever have to bat. Right? Then you've got, if you hit 2 sixes inside the first 2 overs, you unlock a 3rd power play. If you don't hit those 6s, you don't get that 3rd power play, and the other team can. Right?
I like it.
There's more. Then, right, you're going to have the situation that we're going to bowl 5 overs from one end and 5 overs from the other. So it's going to be super quick.
Mm-hmm.
But because we don't want the players hanging around, we've said if you don't bowl your 60 balls quick enough, you don't lose a fielder from inside the circle, you lose a fielder. The captain has to choose someone to leave the
leave the pitch?
Leave the pitch. You're down to 10 fielders for the final over. Right? Then we thought, well, do you know what? What else could we do to try and get people involved? So we've come up with an idea, and there's going to be a mystery ball. And teams are going to be able to vote. Fans are going to be able to vote for when that mystery ball happens. So from that extra mystery ball, there's going to be, you score runs off it, but you can't get out from it.
Oh, okay.
The timing of that is going to be decided for by fans.
By the fans? Oh, wow.
By the fans. So you're going to be able to vote, and you'll be able to choose when it happens. So Yeah, that's happening, and it's happening in St Kitts. The first time this has ever happened, and it's hugely exciting as well because T10, as you've already said, it looks like it could end up being in the Olympics. It's probably the format that makes the most sense, and we're coming up with something that's going to be 60 balls, super fast, lots of sixes, men's teams, women's teams, best players from the men's and women's game from around the Caribbean, overseas players, and we're going to spend even longer in wonderful St Kitts.
Man,
I'm excited.
I'm excited. And give us the dates again for this particular tournament.
24th of August to the 28th of August. And then we're immediately following that with the CPL.
You realize we're getting back-to-back cricket action
Back-to-back cricket
in
tournament.
St. Kitts?
I was going to say that this tournament was like a nice warm-up for CPL, but I think this is something that kind of stands on its own.
Well, I mean, we hope so. As ever with CPL, we don't plan something for 1 year and we don't plan something unless we want it to be as big as possible. So the plan is that this becomes not just an annual fixture, but potentially a biannual fixture or even happening 3 times a year. So there's obviously cricket taking place in the Caribbean. And because this is such a condensed format, we can have this done in 5 days, right? So there's gaps all over in the schedule. So say the West Indies finish a cricket series against Bangladesh. And then we say, right, okay, at the end of that, we're going to play the 60. We'll come in. We've already got the TV crews there. We can take the overseas players can be there from the other teams. And we'll have 2 or 3 of these events across the year. Now, there's some debate as to whether or not that becomes one big event or, so you build up to a final or whatever. But yeah, I mean, some of the things I've talked about, I mean, I get very excited when people start talking about this because, I heard the boss say in an interview the other day, we could have the 60 Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Now, that's the kind of thing that gets me really excited. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people. I mean, my wife might very well divorce me if I go and find myself in a casino. And I was bad enough in the casino in St Kitts. It'd be too much fun. But Las Vegas might be a bit too much for me. But yeah, I mean, it's just another thing to bring focus to the Caribbean, bring income to the Caribbean, to bring jobs to the Caribbean. I mean, you guys will tell me better. I mean, hopefully people enjoyed having the CPL just in St Kitts last year and it made a difference to the economy. I'm told it did. I know that I saw plenty of people dropping off food and people going to restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So, we love St Kitts. We want to make sure that we're supporting as much as possible and we're really excited to be coming back.
I love it.
All right, man. I'm really enjoying the fact that this is happening right here in St. Kitts and we could experience this for the first time ever in person.
Yes.
Right. I'm hoping as well that as this kind of kicks off and rolls off, it could even be something that brings people into the country to come and see this because I think this type of format is going to become more and more popular. Personally, I really believe that's going to be the case. Some people are going to be the purist and love the test cricket and the long form games. Some people are gonna love the T20, but I do believe that, especially for people who are now just getting into cricket, the shorter form of the game really does provide something that they could kind of wrap their head around and the excitement that it provides. I think it really, yeah.
Jade spent enough time with me that she knows that I just love cricket. Cricket's my thing, and I just so any type of cricket makes me happy.
Right.
And we're just really excited to, again, it's just kind of building on the foundation. Something I haven't said that I should say is that whereas the CPL is a venture that's separate from Cricket West Indies, so CPL runs the T20 tournament, but it's a completely different entity from Cricket West Indies. This new tournament is a venture between the two. So it's very much a partnership. It says something a lot about how the relationship with CPL and Cricket West Indies is and how it's going. That as two organisations, we get on great. We both have a similar vision for putting the Caribbean and Caribbean cricket at the absolute forefront of what people do. So we're very, very excited to have the possibility of being able to bring this to the Caribbean, bring it to St Kitts, showcase the best men's cricket and the best women's cricket. And I think for us, that's a really exciting thing that's happening because it's something we've been wanting to do for a long, long time. So if you think back in 2019, we had 2 women's exhibition T10 matches. That's kind of where the genesis of this idea came from. And we wanted that to be happening in 2020 and 2021. Now, as I'm sure your listeners are aware, they weren't very normal times, those, weren't they? When things were slightly difficult for everybody concerned. So it's been difficult for us to pull that off in that regard. But now we're in a position where the world's opening up. People are able to travel around a bit more, and we can finally have our proper women's CPL, the women's 60, and showcase the best of cricketing talent, regardless of gender, to everyone around the world, because that's what we want to do. Is we want to be inspiring the next generation of cricketers, whoever you may be.
All right. Pete, do you have any information as to what the cost of the tickets may be? Is that something that has already been decided and available?
It's in the process. Tickets will be on sale very soon, but I suspect, similar to what people have paid for CPL in the past, there's going to be these games are going to be played back to back, so there's as many as 4 games a day taking place. So you could have glancing up at my schedule above me now. So you're going to have the men's and women's games happening across the same day, but tickets should be on sale imminently within the next few days. People can keep an eye out on our social media channels. All of our social media for this new project is called @60cricket, but the S is a 6, so at the number 6 IXTY cricket. And obviously the CPL channels as well. People can go to 60cricket.com, again with a 6, be able to check it out there. Tickets will be on their sale soon. There's a great explainer video there that will have the Universe boss Chris Gale, friend of the show.
For sure.
Big fan of St Kitts. So he's explained all of these rules, I'm sure, in a way that's much more interesting than I've been able to manage doing it. But yeah, so 60 cricket with a 6. Check it out. We'll be there very soon, and I'm sure when tickets go on sale, I'll be messaging Jade and saying, can someone from CPL or Cricket West Indies or the 60 come along and talk to you guys and say the tickets are on sale and where people can go and get them.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the update and letting us know that this is in the pipeline, that this is happening.
I'm so excited, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this.
I know I'll definitely see Jade there, but I'm hoping I see both of you there.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, he will come and look at some cricket with us.
Indeed.
Yes. We'll see if we can get him in and come and sit in the air conditioning with us.
Oh.
Okay. just don't kick me out.
Well, Pete, I mean, looking forward to it. Looking forward to lovely cricket right here in St. Kitts. I'm so happy I don't have to watch this on TV.
Right.
I could go and watch it in person. But really looking forward to it, and looking forward to hearing from you or someone else from the team, just keeping us updated as to what's happening as the time draws closer for the actual start of the cricket. And the social media again is @60cricket, and that's 60 with the number 6IX, correct?
Yes, S. So it's 6IXTY cricket.
All right, lovely. Well, Pete, anything you want to ask Pete before he runs off? He seems like he's very busy today, getting the 60 ready.
He's a very busy man.
I'm never always very easily distracted, but you do have most of my attention.
Well, just looking forward to the tournament and seeing you guys back in St. Kitts very, very soon, back to back for both 60 and CPL.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
All right, bye. Jade, I ain't telling a lie. I tell you already, I like, you know me, I like the short form.
You do.
I like the short form, and of course I like the T20 and Test cricket as well. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I personally just don't always have the time it takes and watch Test cricket. Like it and
you have to have actual time.
And the thing for me is that I like the fact that there's so many ebbs and flows that happen in the game in the short form, right? So it really is a bit closer to the feeling I get from some of the other sports, where you could see like changes in momentum very easily. There is at one point you believe the game is out of reach, and then all of a sudden the game is one team is within striking distance. Like I like the way that moves, and so it gives a different level of excitement to me personally. So. And the fact that this is happening in St. Kitts, I think is a good look for St. Kitts.
I am so happy about that fact, especially.
Let me tell you something, Jade. We keep talking about things that we need to focus on. Sport tourism is huge, Jade. Sport tourism is huge. I tell you, when they were doing the the games here, the last games that were played on that were on ESPN. You know how good I feel like looking up at ESPN and seeing it look so good on the TV. But
Listen,
I literally was watching it on one of the streaming sites, right? And people commenting about just how, where's this place? This place looks so nice. Like people literally just watching it for the cricket, but recognizing, hey, that's some place I might like to go.
yeah, and they should.
Yeah.
They definitely should.
Yeah.
My only gripe is the fact that we don't have as much air traffic or air transportation that we would have liked to have. So the neighboring islands might have a difficult time traveling here to enjoy these festivities. But
yeah, and the thing is, I think these types of tournaments is things that we need to encourage because whereas if you're coming for a longer form game, the tournament might last like the CPL lasted like a month basically.
Yes.
Right? But for something like this where you could come and watch the whole tournament in 5 days. Like I think people are more willing to
no, they definitely are. They definitely are willing to fly
participate,
here to look at some cricket for 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, Airbnb and go to Warner Park in the day. Go to the strip or down the boulevard down Sandy Point. In my mind now. We got Rum Dog one time.
Yep.
But
Sandy Point's nice little strip.
Yeah. But yeah, go there in the evening. I think that's something because the truth is we do have this facility here, and sometimes I do believe, just like a lot of other facilities, it's grossly underutilized, right? So, more of these types of things, please.
Yes, indeed.
And when this thing comes, yeah, could really go out and support it. I think that does be the downfall for me. Sometimes the fact that you're looking at the games and the stands empty, stadiums empty.
We don't appreciate things until they're gone,
I mean, it's difficult. People working, a lot of, like most of us, we work the traditional time of the day. So it's difficult. So that's why I say for those of you who can go out and support.
And there probably will be night games.
Yeah, well, if it's 4 games a day, I suspect that they're going to have games even in the evening. So, yeah, go out and support, enjoy the cricket, and just have a good time, man. I think all them times there, we coming down. Let me see, Culturama would be finished by then. So what happening at that point? That's kind of a lull for us too.
So this is a perfect place to put a whole tournament.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this just because I finally figured out the game of cricket. So no, this is so exciting. Like, I love me some cricket. You know when I love cricket, I'm not a person that literally sits at home and watch sports. But I was literally at home looking at the games that they had after CPL. I said, they catch me now.
They catch me. You're a fan now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you get the bug.
Yeah. Or cricket fever.
And of course, you're back in the Patriots, so.
I mean, anything else would be uncivilized. We are the reigning champs of CPL.
Hey, I still just think back about the last ball.
Listen, I feel like that was a movie now. Because
you couldn't plan it any better, Jade.
On Independence Day too?
On Independence Day
God.
in St. Kitts, the team from St. Kitts, the way the game ended, like it.
I was clammy sweating, I was clammy sweating, but I couldn't because I do work for the tournament. I couldn't be down there jumping up. I had to try to contain my excitement, but on the inside, oh boy. And especially since, listen, last game, right? Last inning, I had to stand next to the Patriots bench because we were getting ready to do the celebration for whoever won.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, listen, I don't do this, Don't let me go on this field for nobody else, Because I would be annoyed looking at everybody judgmentally. Do not let me go on this field, go throw up the confetti and not give nobody no trophy. And they know you.
Right.
But I couldn't say that.
You couldn't say it.
I just had to hope.
Yeah.
And they delivered.
I think that was one of the best Independence Day gifts outside of independence.
Indeed, boy, indeed.
But Jade, we are jumping to tea time. Let's continue now.
Yeah, let's see where we can knock out in the little 5 minutes. Make it about that. Make it about that. This is the.
I tell you, that's the old
Oh,
one, you
sorry, I
know.
opened it.
I tell you, that's
I'm like, okay, I guess we really have,
I've seen this, so
oh,
yeah.
well, I guess we
Well,
really do have to do this one
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately. It's been confirmed. So, a body was found at Montpelier, well, in Montpelier, in Nevis. The police have confirmed reports of a decomposed body discovered in the Montpelier estate area in Nevis. According to Superintendent James Sutton, the decomposed body was found by members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force at about 4:50 p.m. on Monday, June 20th, 2022. The police said they found the body, right? Okay, stick up it. Remember that point. The police said they began searching the Montpelier estate after being tipped off. That's what I need to talk to. A hearse was on the scene to remove the remains. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. The police are still searching for 18-year-old Kelvin Williams, last seen on April 3rd, 2022, wearing grey short pants and multicolored t-shirts. Okay, so since they said they're still looking for him, I'm going to assume that this isn't him then.
No, the level of because there was a picture floating around. If that is the body, that is not the young man.
Yeah,
that level of decomposition is that body has probably been exposed to the elements for quite some time. I'm hoping that, as much as this is an unfortunate outcome for someone and some family, that it does bring some closure. I would just say, losing a family member or losing a friend is difficult, but when you don't have their remains to lay them to rest and to help with the grieving process, there's a part of you that is kind of, I think, longing for that.
And condolences to the family of the person that they found, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm hoping able to identify this person soonest.
Two things for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is either the person who tipped off the police took a picture of this person's decomposed body, or the police took a picture of the person's decomposed body. Either way, that was terrible.
Could have been journalists.
I don't... Oh, okay, whoever did it...
You think the picture should not have come out?
I don't think I could say that with how things usually go in the news cycle and on social media and in life. But that was kind of rough. And for me, I was like, I hope this is not how the family member of that person discovered that person passed away.
Well, the thing is, again, this person, whoever this person is, they must have been missing for quite some time.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think there has not, well, to my knowledge, I don't think the identity of the person has been, they haven't identified the person yet.
The level of probably panic and anxiety this picture probably caused to families of people who have people that are missing. My word.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, though, and of course, this does not make it any easier, but persons who may have considered that, hey, this body may belong to a loved one, this probably serves more as like a path to closure than like anything else. Because, and again, I've never been in this position, so I can't tell.
True.
But I mean, that would be my hope, that there is some almost, because you would have to believe that these people, as much as they would have kept hope that the person is alive, that there's a recognition that most likely, unfortunately, this person is no longer with us. I would not be found in thing.
And especially as time...
This man not answer. Emmanuel, why you not watching Island T? You're live on here. You're live on here because you know better. Okay. Uncle.
I love how you just feel the need to shame everybody that calls during Island Tea. Because you assume that they're supposed to know. Well, they're supposed to know. No, you are completely right.
He does be commenting almost every day.
He knows where you are.
Yeah. That's where you can get it.
Oh wow, look at the time.
I'm surprised his mom didn't. His mom call him now and be like, you're not as a man show. You're not as a man show, you can't. But guys, yes, time is fast spent. It's already 10 o'clock. That is our signal that we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark. If you checked us out on Facebook, YouTube, winmediascan.com, or any of the other digital platforms, Twitch, Periscope, etc., we appreciate you big time. We appreciate all the persons that would have listened on the radio. We had one caller today, and we appreciate you, sir.
Yes.
And we had the persons who listen on the radio. That's why you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the persons who called in, but who listened on the radio, of course, you guys are the real MVP. Make sure you turn it up loud for everybody in the near vicinity to hear. Some of y'all need to make sure that LNT loud enough that the neighbors, the community hears. It's all about community.
Community efforts.
Because it's all about community right now.
Another thing that they need to do is also make sure that they share with their friends. So share the live, according to Molly.
Share the live volume. But guys, it has been great. We had amazing guests. Big things happening down in 5. Apparently there's a political race. Watch him. He reached now. Watch him. He got that fella there. But yeah, guys. Of course, we had Stacia Williams in PLP candidate for constituency number 5. Thank you. And of course, we had Pete joining us again. I'm talking about lovely cricket, the 60.
The 60.
Looking forward to that for sure.
Indeed.
And so we appreciate all you guys as well. But
today's Wednesday, right?
Today's Hump Day.
Indeed. So, right after the show, we have Money Matters, and it should. It really should. So stick and stay for that. Then Voices. Yes, Voices will be on today with our host, Devon. And I think that he also mentioned that he will have a guest today. Let me just look to see who the guest is. 1 second there, my good people.
The maestro Devon Cornelius. But Devon.
Yes, Azad will be on with Devon today. What? You have a what?
Ought.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, against Devon. You know how long he's supposed to check something for me?
And he forget. Remember, he's a busy man.
Wait there. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to. I'm looking for some information from the news team. I hear that some persons were pardoned. That's the thing. Like from jail here. Somebody said 7 persons were pardoned. Tell me it's the last night.
Oh man, about that.
Okay, the news team got to look into it, so we could talk about it. I want to know what's going on with that.
I want to.
But
we don't do them things here. But yes, as I was saying that today, we have lots of things happening on the station. So stick and stay.
Yeah, guys,
don't want to miss them.
Don't go nowhere. But guys, as we leave, as we go, as we disembark, please remember to learn from the losses of others. The L does not stand for loss alone. It stands for lesson. Okay? So take your L's. All right? Take your L's, guys. The lessons. Yes. And of course, guys, please, the tip for today, please spend more time living your content than posting it to get out there. It's a beautiful world.
It is. Go hug a tree. Touch some grass.
Indeed.
A lot of y'all not in tune with reality right now. But touch some grass, please.
Tell me about it, Jade. I believe election time is the most delusional time. It's like a cloud of delusion envelops the country on election time. But also, guys, please remember you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We're going to see you guys tomorrow.